Emily Bornt, and I'm a lighting designer and programmer for many types of live events, primarily in the entertainment sector. Thank you in advance for letting me have the next 15 minutes of your time to talk about the importance of utilizing technology and the process of pre-production. This sounds long-winded and complicated, but essentially I'll discuss how and why you should take advantage of some helpful tools and software in presenting your ideas before the actual production takes place. As a member of a team, it's important to utilize these tools on the stages of pre-production as a way of communication. The three major stages we will look at are selling your idea, working with vendors, and pre-programming or previs. Here are a few examples of software that you can use, whether you're providing 2D drawings, 3D drawings, rendered stills, or animated videos. Many of these are able to interact with each other via plugins, or give you the ability to import and export various types of files to share between platforms. Vectorworks and AutoCAD are commonly used for creating technical drawings. Many lighting designers prefer Vectorworks because of the built-in rendering capabilities and its compatibility with other rendering and previs software. When it comes to creating better quality renders than Vectorworks offers, Cinema 4D is a very popular solution. Cinema also has a variety of plugins you can install that are made for lighting and production design. Two popular plugins include Redshift and HauntMade Stage. Unreal Engine is becoming a popular free visualizer, and Carbon is an affordable but powerful companion plugin that caters to lighting and production designers. Also, it takes DMX input from consoles as a quick way to manipulate the lights. There are a variety of options for previs and pre-programming. Grandame 3D, WYSIWYG, Capture, L8, and Depends 2 are current popular options. Some are able to integrate video content, pyro, special effects, and even water features for better full production visualization. There are also a variety of price points on all of these depending on how much muscle you need. As an example, Vectorworks has an extensive library of free symbols for all sorts of objects, which can save you the hassle of building everything from scratch in Cinema 4D. You can take these objects and modify them in Cinema 4D and then export them back to Vectorworks or any choice of rendering software. You can use Vectorworks' built-in symbol to create a scenic formation of stage decks or a truss structure, and of course, obviously, building a rig with their lighting library. I can continue to work on them in Vectorworks, or I can export them as a 3ds object to import into MA3D. Or I can export them as an OBJ object file and import them into Cinema 4D, where I can have better control over modifying the textures. The drawback is that it doesn't take DMX input from a console, so it takes longer to change your lighting settings and also a lot of time to render the image. These items can also be exported as FBX objects and then imported into Unreal Engine. Different softwares have their strengths and weaknesses, or you may feel more proficient on one than another. It's good to know what each software offers you and how you can take advantage of it in your process. Being able to utilize multiple software platforms can be a benefit because other departments can send their design files or 3D objects and they can be imported and incorporated into your project to scale. For example, on the Nashville outdoor install I did last year, we received the architectural files as Revit files, which I was then able to import into Cinema 4D. It was an extremely large file, which slowed it down quite a bit. Moving around in 3D was slow and rendering was painful. I was able to use a search filter to find non-essential geometry and strip a large amount of unnecessary polygons out until we had the exterior framework of the buildings we were working on. Over the course of a few weeks, I was able to get the file size from 650 megabytes to 45 megabytes, making it much easier to export to Vectorworks and Grandame 3D. From there, we started laying out lighting positions without the software crashing or lagging. It also made previs and programming quicker because the software had fewer polygons and surface reflections to calculate. When trying to sell your ideas, it's important to have strong visual aids so you can communicate with the client what your intentions are and make sure you are all on the same page with the direction of the show. Often, a client will approach you and ask you to submit a design. Hopefully, they are organized and have some clear understanding of what they are looking for. But sometimes it's vague instructions like make it look dope and keep it under budget, and also make sure it fits in half a truck. And also, we can only afford one tech, so not too complicated. Fun, right? Regardless of which type of client it is, they will usually send some sort of mood board or design treatment. That's a collection of images or phrases or color palettes that they want incorporated into their show. It's like a collage. They may like the colors, or they may like the mood they evoke, or the geometry of something, but it's a jumping off point. It's important to be very visual with your design proposal. Remember, oftentimes the client won't understand or is not interested in technical drawings, so pretty pictures help. Using more than one type of software or taking time to really get into one software platform is very important. The better you know how to navigate in your software, the more comfortable you'll be to be able to express what you plan to do for their show. It will also help clarify early on if you understand what they are looking for or if there's been a miscommunication. And you have plenty of time to work it out and adjust your design before it ever hits the rehearsal stage. Also, in the initial design, don't get too bogged down by the fine details. Let the creativity flow. And then when you work with the vendors, they can help find technical solutions for your creative problems. Once the client has signed on for your design, it's time to work with your vendor. It will be important to be able to present not only visual information, but technical drawings to effectively work with them. They may take this information and create their own drawings that are more in-depth or have different information for their staff to work with. Providing an aesthetic goal as well as important dimensions can help the vendor understand what generic or custom gear you may need. They also may have a gear list that doesn't quite meet your specifications, so they will offer to substitute similar items. If they can see what your intention is, they have a better idea of what lights to propose, and it can save some time. Having a cohesive set of drawings to scale will also help make sure that everything plays in the same sandbox together. This means you can put the audio package, scenic package, video package, lighting package, and special effects kit into one drawing and make sure it all works together. You may realize the monitor wedges make it difficult for your floor package to shoot through, or there could be a confetti cannon and an audio sub fighting for real estate. So you want to avoid that area. Or there could be a kabuki curtain on the same truss as a video wall, so it can't be brought in and reloaded easily. Not that I know that from experience. Seeing it all on paper helps you see where there may be issues before any gear gets pushed on a stage. Having all of your information on a drawing also helps convey important information like addressing, fixture modes, placement, and spacing on fixtures. On a recent project, there was a miscommunication about where the truss should be hung in the room. I was sent the rigging plot with this incorrect information and designed the lighting rig based on its placement. When we were loading it in, the truss and lights were hung, and then someone came in the room and pointed out the large error. It took a few hours to land the truss, rehang the motors, and move the lighting fixtures so they could serve their purpose from their new positions. It also required some overtime for the crew to fix this mistake. One bit of wrong information early on can easily start snowballing into other problems and cost production time and money. So it's very important to make sure your information is as accurate as possible and to be flexible. You can also see in preliminary programming and making renders if you have the right fixture choices once things start shuffling around or evolving. Maybe you need a lower profile fixture to fit inside a set piece, or you need a fixture with a wider beam angle, or more of them to get the coverage you need. It can also be helpful to have your entire rig in 3D so you can play virtual Tetris and figure out if it actually will fit into the truck space you've been allotted. Productions are often looking for ways to cut costs. The use of Previs software has greatly aided lighting departments in helping to trim the fat. Instead of renting a venue and lighting and stage equipment for a few weeks of rehearsals and employing the staff to set it up and maintain it, the lighting department can program in an office with just a console and a powerful computer. There may be band or dance rehearsals happening in the same time frame, but this can also be done in a smaller studio for less cost. The clients can also see the programming and give feedback, so most of the heavy lifting is done before the gear ever rolls into a venue. Using Previs software, you can see in real time what the lighting programming will look like. The Previs period also allows you to see if your lighting positions will work for the show. You may find out that you have to modify your rig a few days into programming, and this saves time on site because you can relay these changes to the vendor and production team in time to have them ready for rehearsals. Another selfish benefit is that you can work on your own schedule since you don't have to coordinate with labor calls or the rehearsal schedule. This can allow you to spend a little more time on certain parts of the show or jump around the set list in whichever order you choose. I could talk all day about pre-production and software, but I hope this has been a helpful quick look into the world of pre-production technology and its application in live events. Thank you again for your time.